Please don't go anywhere. I have a lot to discuss. I have so many things to set straight, and I'll be reacting to people's behaviors, people's posts, and giving you sane judgment. I'm gonna be looking from both sides. So basically, what we're doing today is reacting to Reddit stories on Am I the A hole? So that's what I'm gonna be doing. Let's get right into it. Am I the a hole for telling my friend next time then after I missed her wedding? Okay, let's not judge off the topic, but we are childhood friends. We have a brother sister relationship. Okay, so this is a boy girl situation. There's girl married at age 23 for the first time. Her husband was a nice guy, good looking, good character. They got a divorce 1 to 5 years after because my friend wasn't feeling it anymore. Okay, I'm guessing this is a marriage, yeah? Because I'm seeing the divorce. Oh, it's a marriage and there's a divorce because she wasn't feeling it anymore. After some time, she found someone else. No, she wasn't cheating. This guy is someone I approve of too. Okay? Sadly, I got sick and hospitalized just before the wedding and couldn't make it, so she and her husband visited me. We had some laughs and she said, I wish you were there with us too. I wanted to have my third dance with you. Context. First dance is for the groom, second for the father, and third is for the brother if the bride has any. To lighten the mood, note that I was under heavy medication. I blotted out, don't worry, I won't miss the next one. Oh my god. Okay, okay. After I said that, her husband was laughing and she slapped me and left. A week has passed and she doesn't speak to me. Okay? Okay. I would say let's look at both perspectives. She was trying to lighten up the mood and maybe couldn't come up with something else. But we have to excuse the fact that she was under heavy medication. She was hospitalized. So I'm guessing maybe she was, waking up from an anesthesia or something. Or, but sometimes people just make up excuses for the mistakes they make. So, she wasn't wrong for actually leaving. Maybe I wouldn't have slapped if it were me, but I would have actually left because it's something that is very very hard to understand. Like you don't know the trauma, the things she had to you know recover from. You don't know what she had to recover from. How she had to like forget the fact that her first marriage failed or something of that sort. You don't know all those things and you just come up with that kind of joke. But I'll try and excuse you because you're under heavy medications. But she has not spoken to you for 1 week. The reaction she's giving is not so extreme. So maybe you could go and you're the one to go and apologize and all that, apologize and stuff like that. So, yes, you're the a hole, yeah, but you're under anesthesia. But yes, you're the a hole. Okay, so let's look into another one. Let's get into another one and and read it out. This is quite a long read, so I'm gonna just read. I'm gonna read everything and try reading very fast. So, sure, Ray. Am I the a hole for refusing to thank my husband for staying with me after I became disabled? Sometimes I get marveled at the topic or the title of the story because if you don't read the full story, sometimes you just judge from the topic. So, am I the a hole for refusing to thank my husband for staying with me after I became disabled? So, okay. So the person is a female. She's 26, and her husband is 28, and they've been married for 7 years. They've been together for 7 years, and they've been married for 5. So I'm going to read the story. About 3 years ago, I was in a situation where I ended up with severe nerve damage in my hands, leaving me disabled. I have very little use or feeling in my hands and can't do any fine motor activities and struggle to use my hands to do many day to day activities. While most things I can manage all right, if given plenty of time to accomplish said tasks, the extensive use of joints in my fingers causes excruciating pain and numbness. For example, typing for too fast or too long, doing makeup, writing with a normal pen or pencil. On my real bad days, I can struggle with tasks like holding the remote and turning doorknobs. Because my husband loves me and is a good person, he's taking on a lot of work in assisting me to do things himself and creating easier ways for me to do things, including wrapping tape or words around thinner handheld objects, buying every kitchen tool he can find that has bigger moving parts, and even just doing a lot of things for me. Oh wow. My husband often cuts my food for me, does most of the dishes and cooking, ties my shoes, zips my coat, and a million other things to make my life easier. He even learned how to do eyeliner and blush for the days I want to wear makeup because my hands are numb. We had my in-laws, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my husband's two sisters and their husbands and kids, his brother and his aunt and uncle over. Okay, so the family was over for a Halloween dinner party over the weekend. I was having a rough day with the pain and numbness, so my husband did most of the cooking while I sat at the table with my in-laws. My husband let everyone know the food was done and immediately dished me up and brought my food before getting his, which I of course thanked him for. Yeah, that's a beautiful gesture. Okay. So after I had finished my food, he went and got me more of whatever I wanted, got me dessert, and took my dishes away as he normally does when I have bad days. And of course, I thanked him whenever he did so. My in-laws are aware of my issues, so they don't question my husband doing things for me. However, my mother-in-law likes to brag about what a good person my husband is for helping me and how lucky I am to have him, which shouldn't really be a problem, except for the fact that she acts like I should be grateful that my husband stays with me and assists me despite my disability. Of course, I'm grateful for everything he does, but wedding vows are literally in sickness and in health. I was about to say that though. But I get okay. Okay, let's finish this up. Staying with and supporting your partner if they become ill or disabled is the bare minimum a spouse should do. I won't call it the bare minimum, but it's what the person is supposed to do. I'm not going to get down on my knees and thank the gods above that my husband didn't leave me when I became disabled, as my mother-in-law thinks I should, because it's the bare minimum. I don't like the fact that she's calling it the bare minimum. I don't really like that, but I get the point. Like is what your spouse is supposed to do. Like this thing called marriage that people take it very lightly these days, but there's some things that uh you should actually not negotiate. You shouldn't be begged for, or you should expect it. You should expect it and put it that way. So, if you leave your sick, disabled partner just because they're sick or disabled, you never love them in the first place. I agree. There has been many instances where my mother-in-law has told me how grateful I should be, how lucky I am, how much I owe my husband just for loving me and helping me in my day-to-day life. Towards the end of the night, my mother-in-law was again gushing over what an amazing man she has raised, and when she said, you should be thanking him for all he does for you. Not every husband would stay with a wife who can do very much. It's a privilege to be married to the kind of man my son is. You need to thank him for staying with you when you had your accident. Not every man will do what he did. Why am I getting the vibe that her mother-in-law is jealous, or I have this feeling, like I have a weird feeling about it. I'm gonna drop my feelings after the post. I'm gonna drop my feeling after reading the story. The story is quite a long read, a very long read, I must say. Okay, so my mother-in-law has some insensitive and ignorant things and a plethora of downright rude and hurtful things, but she's never gone as far to outright tell me that I should thank my husband for not divorcing me. But I didn't want to take her bait or whatever the hell it was. I said, "Oh, I thank him all the time for what he does for me." My mother-in-law responded saying, "But you could, but you did you ever actually thank him for staying with you, not just cutting your stick, but for still being married to you? It really does seem like you appreciate him much. It really doesn't seem like you appreciate him much, and it breaks my heart because he's still so kind to you. Like, what's going on here? What in the world is going on here?" At this point, I had enough and gave her my honest response. I told her, "No, I will never thank my husband for not divorcing me over nerve damage. That's a spouse's job to love and take care of the partner, and nobody deserves a cookie or pat on the back for staying with a person they literally vowed to stay with in sickness and in health. That the common belief that disabled people aren't deserving of love and should be grateful that someone is willing to be with them is harmful and ableist. Insinuating that disabled people are less than able-bodied people and don't deserve the same thing as everyone else is absolutely disgusting." My mother-in-law got defensive and angry, saying she was only looking out for her son, and I told her to leave. Well, I'll get back to that. I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. So I told her to leave. My husband backed me up. She and my father-in-law left with a huff, but several of my in-laws told me that you should have just let her be. I knew she was tipsy and getting worked up, and I could not just let her have it. My husband's aunt even told me that going out of my way to not just say thank you was a huge dick move. Am I the a-hole? Okay, let's read something she wrote later on. So my husband frequently shouts his mom down when she gets on me like that and did tell her to stop. I'd also like to mention that yes, of course, I'm aware that there are circumstances in which people are unable to take care of sick or disabled spouse. I know there's gonna be that person who comes at me with that what if situation scenarios. Like, bro, let me say something. There's a lot I want to say about this. Understand that she was patient with the mother-in-law because the mother-in-law has been getting her nerves. You know, when someone just says something on a passing note, maybe just say, "Oh, maybe you see the way he's doing, and you just admire the fact." I mean, as the mother-in-law, you just admire the fact, and you're like, "Yo, this is my son. I'm so proud of my son," or something like that. And you just say it like once or maybe twice after you see him do another thing that maybe your husband didn't do for you. You just get grateful in your heart because you're like, wow, I raised a king or something like that, or oh my god, this my son is a nice person or something of that sort. But here's my point. She's not really the a-hole. She should have sent her mother-in-law away just to, the fact that she was even saying it in front of her son will be giving the son ideas like, oh, I'm supposed to like I'm overdoing this whole helping thing. I could as well go out and maybe get divorced and make my life easier because of course his life will be harder trying to help his wife. But then marriage is literally in sickness and in health. Okay, this is not the courtship or the dating scenario. This is marriage. So it's literally in sickness and in health. I don't know why people tread lightly with those words, with those commitments. You know, you're supposed to actually be there for your partner in good times, in bad times. You guys are literally one. You get, you're literally one. So I don't see any reason why someone should, anyone at all should come and say those things. Oh, you should think, like, I feel like the way she's saying it, the extremism, the way she's going at it, I mean the mother-in-law, I feel like she, maybe she wouldn't, if it were her and her husband was disabled, she wouldn't stay. I feel like that's just the whole point. The way she's saying it, I feel like, in my opinion, she wouldn't stay because for you to actually keep hitting on it, it means you just feel like it's such a great privilege. So that means if the tables were turned and your husband was the one disabled, you would actually leave. Yeah, that's the way I feel about the whole thing. You actually leave. Yeah. Or you're just jealous, or maybe something happened to you at some point, and you're kind of jealous of your daughter-in-law because I know that it happens a lot. Okay, where the mother-in-law is jealous of her daughter-in-law majorly because her own husband didn't treat her as her son is treating her daughter-in-law. I know that's a lot a statement, but just try. Okay, so you're not the a-hole, my dear, but maybe you shouldn't have been the one to show her down. Yeah, maybe it's not really in your place to shut her down. Okay, you said in the last part of your post, you said that your husband often shuts her down. Your husband should be the one to send her to talk to her. That's his mom, so he should be the one to talk to her. And I'm of this opinion that when things like this go haywire, like, you shouldn't be the one to actually shut your in-law down. Talk to your man about it, your husband, and in the husband's case, talk to your wife about it. Let them be the one to actually set boundaries, to actually set principles, to actually shut and shun some things. You get, so that's just my opinion. Drop a comment down below, and please drop a follow, subscribe wherever this is posted, and I hope to get better. So peace.